Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Yesterday, Stand.Earth released a report that finds that this NDP government has doubled oil and gas subsidies since they took power in 2017. The report found that by 2023, this government plans to spend almost $1.8 billion on fossil fuel subsidies, more than triple what the BC Liberals spent in the last year that they were in office. Let's be clear, Honourable Speaker, what this means. Billions of dollars of public money is driving the expansion of fracking and LNG terminals in BC. Honourable Speaker, this government likes to say that BC has the best climate plan in North America. They sell British Columbians the idea that we're somehow climate leaders, and yet they pump billions of dollars into the fossil fuel sector, which is making it impossible to meet our climate targets. Meanwhile, the United States is eliminating fossil fuel subsidies altogether, replacing them with clean energy incentives. The reason? According to the U.S. Treasury, the subsidies, they said, undermine energy independence, undermine the fight against climate change, and harm air and water quality in communities. These are not lofty goals. They are the very least we should expect from government in a climate emergency to protect water, air, and our future. My question through you is to the Minister of Energy, Mines, Low Carbon Innovation. How can the minister explain his government's massive and increasing handouts to fracking companies when the rest of the world is going in the other direction?
Minister of Energy and Mines.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Leader of the Third Party for her question. I'm very proud of the work our government has done. The Green Caucus and the former member for Oak Bay Gordon Head did when it came to creating CleanBC. Together, we developed the strongest climate action plan in North America. Our government has a plan to fight climate change, build a clean energy economy, and make life better for British Columbians. We are dedicated to keeping BC on track to meet our emission reduction targets. My mandate from the Premier provides direction to me to undertake a comprehensive review of BC's oil and gas royalty system, an action that the old government refused to take. This review will be done to ensure the system meets our goals for economic development, a fair return on our resources, and continued environmental protection.
Leader of the third party, supplemental.
Wow. So the member for Skeena mentioned, thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Minister. The member for Skeena mentioned rhetoric, and that answer certainly summed it up. I'm sure that the Minister for Energy, Mines, Low Carbon Innovation is proud of the $1.3 billion in fossil fuels in 2021. He's proud of the deep well royalty program for fracking operators that cost taxpayers $421 million. He's proud of the outstanding liability that has grown under this government to $3.1 billion from those royalties. Is he proud of the fact that this government is giving more to oil and gas companies by a wide margin than what they're receiving back in revenue, and that the people of this province, including the youth in particular who are going to inherit this climate-changed world, are on the hook to pay for these royalties for decades? It's not a lot to be proud of, Honourable Speaker. Spending billions of dollars to subsidize the fossil fuel sector isn't just terrible for the climate, it's terrible for BC taxpayers. It's moving our economy in the wrong direction. A month ago, I asked the Minister of Energy and Mines about a landmark report from the International Energy Agency, which forecast a deep decline in the global market for oil and gas and said we don't need any new LNG projects, warning they could become stranded assets in a world that is moving on. At the time, the minister said he couldn't speak to the report because he hadn't had time to digest it. It's been a month now, and I assume on a file as important as this one, analyzing this report and its implications for BC and our economy has been a priority for this government. My question again is to the Minister of Energy, Mines and Low Carbon Innovation. Will the minister acknowledge that it's now clear that LNG is not the way forward for our economy? And can he please tell us what he is doing to urgently change course and fix this government's mistake on LNG?
Minister of Energy and Mines.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Leader of the Third Party for her question. I'm afraid the member has mischaracterized the way the program works, and that is disappointing. Credits are not paid or owed by the government to producers. They partially reduce royalties that must be paid when production occurs. But to speak to the review, which is underway, the ministry has commissioned an independent review of the royalty system that will be undertaken by 2 experts from academia and will be released publicly once complete. The report will examine how the royalty system works today and consider whether it is positioned to achieve BC's goals into the future. After the independent review is made public, the ministry will conduct public outreach to ensure all British Columbians have a say about the future of resource development in our province. After collecting public input, the ministry will review the royalty system to ensure it meets BC's goals for economic development, a fair return on our resources, and environmental protection.